If this should be yourself too.
Okay. Once again, my name is Dolores Adams. I work with procurement for the Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority. This is the pre-bid conference for IFB 2024-03 Phoebus Square roof replacement. We will have a bid and a walkthrough today. And I want to first of all thank you all for coming today, those that are there in the conference room as well as those that are online here. We may have a few join us, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I've introduced myself, and I always like to take the opportunity to have everyone else in the room or on the call to introduce themselves. So I will start with the PRHA team. If PRHA staff, if you would introduce yourself so that everyone will know who's there in the meeting. We can start with those in the conference room.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Martin, property manager here at Phoebus Square.
Carlton Thomas, maintenance supervisor here at Phoebus Square.
I'm Bob Stern, the architect of record, prepared the drawings and the specs.
Bill Cobb, capital project manager. PRJ.
And Yolanda Love, the purchasing manager for PHA.
My name is Dwayne Callahan. I'm with Strong Ridge Construction. Jim Cotter, Vertex Roofing.
Okay, next we will have the PRHA team that's online. We can start with Val.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Valzenia Jenkins. I'm the Director of Asset Management for the Housing Authority.
Lynette.
Good afternoon. I'm Lynette Blow, the Modernization/Procurement Assistant.
Okay, thank you all, PRHA team. We did have two of our vendors introduce themselves while we were going through. I will now ask the other vendors that's online to give us introductions. We can start with Kelly. You're muted, Kelly.
Good afternoon, Kelly Warren with SGK Contracting.
Thank you. Nice meeting you. Ronnie.
Ronnie Hamlin with Turner Roofing.
Thank you, Ronnie. And James.
Hello, this is James Plummer. I'm with Freddie and Son Roofing.
All right. Thank you all. I appreciate you letting us know who's in our room. And now we can get started with the pre-bid. Hopefully you all have had an opportunity to review the documents that have been placed online for this IFB. If you don't have them yet, they are available on EVA and as well as on the PRHA website. If you have not had an opportunity to download and review the solicitation documents. And I want to first of all state that we are going to change the due date. We're going to add an additional week. So the new due date will be September the 12th and not the 5th. An addendum will go out following this meeting that will include the link to this reporting as well as that change. And there will also be a change in the bid form where we will be requesting unit pricing on certain items. So those two changes will be part of the first addendum that will go out probably sometime next week after this pre-bid. The next thing I want to ask everyone, if you could make sure you're muted if you're not muted, so that we can keep the noise down in the background. And I want to make sure everyone's aware that this is a Davis-Bacon job. So Davis-Bacon wage rates will be used for this job. The wage determination was included in the packet. So please make sure you review that when you're putting together your bid document, because Davis-Bacon wages will be required. And that means that we will require certified payrolls, and they have to be signed by the authorized person for your 8-year firm. We will also be doing on-site interviews. So please make sure all your staff and subs are aware that interviews will be taken. There has to be posting on job site that this is a Davis-Bacon job. So please make sure everyone is aware of that. Also, I like to state that Section 3 will be required. Section 3 is a HUD requirement to the greatest extent feasible. Anytime there's public funds in a particular job, that we will ask that if you have any new hires, that you will give us a job description, or at least a list of required skills, so that we give us an opportunity to provide low-income residents a opportunity to interview for those jobs so that they can work on the sites. Or you may be able to look at individuals that's already on their payroll or that of your subs, and they can see whether or not they meet the income requirements and can qualify as a Section 3 resident. Those income requirements are included in the bid package in the section titled Section 3. There are some forms in there that if you want to be considered a Section 3, for Section 3, the Section 3 points, we ask that you complete those forms and include it with your bid. Any questions on Davis-Bacon or Section 3 before I go on? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to let Bob tell us more details about the actual job itself.
Okay, the job is entitled roof replacement. It's a existing shingle roof. These are 2 4-story structures. One is kind of L-shaped and another more straight. The basic main level of the roofs is a 3 to 12 slope. At the corners in certain featured towers, it's a little bit steeper, 8-12. So the project will replace that roofing. In addition to the roofs, there are mansards on the 4th floor that are asphalt shingles, and those are to be replaced as well. There are certain dormers that are in this mansard space that are existing hardy plank siding. That siding is to be removed, and there's some flashing conditions where this mansard comes up against some brick, taller hip roof walls, where some masonry will have to be removed in order to tie in existing flashing. There's some gutters and downspouts to be replaced. So again, there's some work that require masonry and carpentry that is in addition just to strictly straight roofing trade. There's a lot of flashing, and there's expected to be some deterioration in the mansard area, and possibly, on an occasional rotted sheet of plywood sheathing on the upper roof. So there's a few unit prices in the project for replacement of deteriorated sheathing, both on the roof itself and the mansard wall, as well as, some framing members that may be encountered. So that would be specifically addressed in the bid form to provide the unit price. The quantities are unknown until we tear it all open, and those quantities will be adjusted accordingly with the submitted unit price. The site is, I would say, very congested. Pretty much abuts 2 public streets. and you might say courtyard parking area is again very tight. So there'll be some logistical issues as far as, availability of various stack materials and to, move around the site. You're gonna have to allow residents to come and go from the parking area. So there could be some challenges for staging of that. You'll have probably a limited area to work at a time. Another issue to keep in mind is safety. OSHA requirements would apply, and there's parking in residence, again, on the inner courtyard, who will be coming and going. So we need to take proper procedures to prevent materials falling and injuring people below. Well, of course, safety of the own workers. If you need to use mechanical, material lists from County Street, whatever parking requirements that the city would require would have to be applied. You would have to apply for if you're going to be blocking the streets. Again, there's not really much space around the site. It's not paved. So, and one other, specific issue is that we are going to require, as far as the shingle application, be done by hand nailing, no pneumatic nailers to be used on the shingles, which is probably not the first choice for speed, but we think it gives a better quality job. And so that will be enforced. Well, some of the work in the units may affect, these upper units that are in the mansard roof area, they are a through-the-wall type of mechanical unit. So in order to reflash the sleeves, those units would have to be pulled out. It's a fairly easy procedure. It's a self-contained unit to disconnect ductwork and power and slide the unit back away from the opening to allow you to do the flashing work. And that needs to be, restored back at the end of the workday, so that and all openings through the exterior wall would have to be, made weather tight again at the end of the workday. So that's gonna. We've had other projects here. It's again fairly easy to pull these mechanical units because there's no refrigeration involved. They're really just self-contained units. That would be the contractor's responsibility to again pull those out to when they're affecting that flashing. I think that's a pretty good overview. There's nothing else specifically I can think of that would not be, sort of standard for roof replacement, but
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate that. So does anyone have any questions for Bob on the specific scope of work and the requirements for this job?
The HVAC units, is that all of them or specific ones? I think it's just on the mansard.
just the ones that go through the mansards. They're identified on you can see them on the elevations. If they're not on the corner, if the corners of the building are correct, you don't have the mansard. Again, it's visible on the drawings. So, there's one two-wall unit for each apartment that, within the mansard area. It's not all of the units. And this is obviously on the top floor only.
Is there an HVAC company that Phoebus works with that we could contact? Have they done work to these prior to?
Bill can answer. I know in past projects, the local maintenance guy was pulling them. You know, it's again, I don't think, it's not involving refrigeration or matter of hooking the ductwork and power wiring and all them out. I mean, they're sitting in a sleeve, you know, through wall sleeve.
So the sleeve itself has to be removed?
Mm-mm. Up to you.
No, well, I think yes, it does. The sleeve has to be pulled out because, we need to ensure that the wood that is supporting on it is not rotted and then put back in. It's a matter of just doing a sleeve and slide it out. Is there any example one you can show them on the walkthrough? Old or anyone, you know?
Who has the HVAC contract you paid?
ABM.
HVAC.
Did people online hear that, his answer?
Yes. ABM.
ABM.
There's a question.
Thank you. ABM?
Yes. There's another question in the room.
Yes, sir. I was looking
Okay.
at the application process and it was mentioning, one layer of roofing felt or synthetic, and then the starter strip, and then the asphalt. Of either felt or synthetic materials. We're certain types, certified with certainty, shingle master, for us to be able to give the warranties that you require. For the 312 areas, we would actually have to do all ice and water shield. Is that permitted, from you guys? Or does it have to be that particular, application? Because we wouldn't, you know, certainty holds us to certain standards to be able to give that upgraded warranty.
We would need to have the warranty, so, those descriptions are actually in the basic building code. But if the option for the full, you know, adhered, that's required by manufacturer to get a warranty, that will be acceptable.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. And we will be making sure that we respond to these questions as part of that addendum as well. Any other questions from anyone online in the room?
Permits, is that filed through you guys, paid by you guys, or is that all on the contractor?
City permits are on the contract.
Any other questions? Either online or in the room?
Are you allowed to work on weekends?
Yeah, you'd have to put in a 24-hour notice for that, and we prefer it be done Monday through Friday, because the weekends, I'm sure it's heavier parking, you know, out here, it would really be tight on weekends. In an emergency situation, you know, we can look at that if it came to that.
I guess I add one more thing, you know, again, some work inside, it's essentially the HVAC unit sleeve, and also on the dormers in the master, you have to pull the window, at least enough to reflash it. So when you're going inside the apartments, to do that work, you're responsible to move the residents' furniture away from that work area. And it's only a small part of the apartment, and protect that while you do that. And get that restored at the end of the workday. I think it's in a limited area, and, you know, in past projects, it's not been a problem for people to do that, so keep that in mind.
Are the HVAC units accessible from the inside?
Yes, There's a closet door that you open it, you know, you probably want to pop it off the hinge with those two that work at it. Yes, and I guess possibly look at one today, but you know, eventually we could maybe post some pictures of it, or I don't know what your thoughts are.
You can show the one today.
On the fourth floor, it's behind them. There.
We would definitely be able to, if we could, we'll get some pictures and we'll post it as part of an addendum as well.
426.
Any other questions?
Is it possible, I know that you had mentioned that the tenants would need to access the parking lot and to be able to move in and out of the doors. Is it possible to, if we're working on the courtyard area, if we could block off one of those doors, for safety reasons, to be able to use a lift, to work in those areas?
Yes, it can partially be blocked. You'll have to put your lift there. And we don't want people, see, there's first floor in that courtyard, there's parking beneath the first and second floor unit. So people could be coming and going from their cars. So I think we can block off an area of maybe 1 to 2 units at a time. So let your lift go there and give them an alternate way around. I mean, that would have to be coordinated, you know, to work around the courtyard. But, you know, again, certainly safety, you know, I think those should require edge protection for falling objects. You know, we want to, you know, a hammer slide down the roof and then up off. So keep that in mind.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any additional questions? Is there anything PRHA staff would like to add?
No concerns right now.
When do you plan on getting this project underway? What's the anticipated start date, or how soon after bid opening?
Well, the bids will be due on September the 12th, and they have to go to our board. They will have to go to our board of commissioners for approval. They were, which may be our October board meeting if all goes well. And so the job will start soon after that.
That's what you would need to with the synthetic up there covering up those certain areas. It's like might be in bad shape right now.
They're wild, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we got a few issues. We have additional questions. Who do we redirect those to?
All questions should be written, sent by email in writing to either Ms. Buck or myself. That information is in the bid package. So our email and contact information is in the bid package. Please make sure you send any questions in writing, because we have to have them in writing so that we can make them part of an addendum. So if you think of anything after today, please make sure you send them in writing via email so that we can send it out as part of the addendum. The sooner we get the questions, of course, the quicker we can get the responses out as an addendum. And I'm sure once you do the walkthrough, sometimes you'll have some additional questions. And once you get a chance to look at the bid package, some more other questions will come up. So just email them to us and we will send a response as part of the addendum. Are there any other questions? Anything anyone would like to add? Okay, hearing none, I want to thank you all for coming for this pre-bid meeting. As I said previously, we will send a copy of this recording as part of a link to this recording as part of our first addendum, so that you will have access to it after today, and those that were unable to physically come will still have access to this recording so they can see what was said in this pre-bid conference. So those of you that are on site or plan on participating in the walkthrough, TRHA staff will start that probably in about about 1:35, so that everyone could gather and you all could be walk through and see the site. Thank you all again for coming, and we look forward to receiving your bids. And thank you for wanting to do business with the Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, not. But yes.